Good morning, folks. The real Captain Kirk here, live from Weather Trends 360 studio here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It is the 4th of November. Daylight savings time is over. Not a happy camper about that. A lot to cover here today, so we'll move quickly. Ocean temperatures here across the world. We're still kind of in a very borderline La Nada weak El Nino stage. Again, but that most of the models keep us in a La Nada, meaning we're just below weak El Nino status here. Mixed bag in the oceans out there. We see some cold waters off Peru, but then a little teeny blob of warmer El Nino type conditions. So again, mostly a La Nada conditions is what the models are expecting. This time last year, we were actually up toward almost a moderate El Nino, and then weakening a bit into a weaker El Nino. But again, mostly moderate into the winter season last year. Didn't see much of an atmospheric response last year. It was a little slow to respond to that El Nino. So again, La Nada is kind of the theme here for this year, going into the winter season. Snowfall here season to date across the country as of 3 November. Another big near historic blizzard. In fact, I think in a lot of areas it was a historic blizzard for around Halloween there. Through the Midwest, around Chicago, Milwaukee, Madison, many areas set kind of all-time record snowfalls with this system. Still getting a little bit of lake effect snow here in the east, but nationally we'd say it's the snowiest start in 10 years, third most in 30 years. Still a little bit of a hole here in the northeast, but we may be working on that here in the next couple storms have potential for the northeast. Snow cover here this morning, this is just snow cover on the U.S., is 10.4% of the country has snow on the ground. Average this time of year would be about 7.3. So again, not a little bit above average, but not epic. Epic was probably back in 17 and 2003 when nearly 21% of the country already had snow on the ground in early November. We look at the broader picture here, Northern Hemisphere, now the entire northern part of the world. Snow extent is 8.91 million square kilometers, according to Rutgers Snow Lab. Average this time of year would be about 8.94, so just a hair below average on a worldwide basis. North America snow extent is 3.24 million square kilometers versus 4.13 last year, so we're down North America as well. So snowy here in the U.S., but North America, counting Alaska, Canada overall, down quite a bit versus a year ago this time. Down also is the flu season. The flu season's a little more active than last year. We only have one state with regional activity, and that'd be New Orleans, Louisiana area. Again, most of the country still in the sporadic activity, a little more activity in the south this year than last year. Last year was kind of non-existent at this point in the season for terms of widespread flu activity. The epic year was obviously 2009 when every single state was regional to widespread. In fact, the only regional was just Mississippi. Everybody else had pretty epic widespread flu. So thankfully none of that just right now. Don't forget tomorrow is voting day, Tuesday, November 5th. Not a lot of complaints here. A little cooler than last year, 14th warmest in 30 years. A little bit of rain in the northeast, interior northeast, and Florida. But again, overall, not that bad for voting day. If we look at this week here overall, again, nationally we say it's about 0.5 degrees colder than last year nationally. But that's still the coldest in 16 years here for this week. 7th coldest in 30 years and a little below average nationally. Map inset left there is temperatures versus last year. And again, we're looking at, again, similar trends. Cooler east, warmer west. Driest in 3 years, 12th wettest in 30 years, so kind of an average week. Heavier rain across the south. Snowfall the least in 3 years, below average. We'll see about that as we look at these snowfall maps. Here's the next 6 days here. Model expectations. So here's today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We got to watch a system here. Euro's a little more excited about something from Pittsburgh to Massachusetts, interior northeast, if you will. We'll see about that for the Friday-Saturday time frame. Again, the Euro's a little more bullish than obviously the GFS depiction here. We'll run through these one more time. So here today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then again Friday, Saturday is the question mark for the interior northeast as this really cold air begins to set in for the U.S. Looking at next week, 11 through 17 November, again, cold east and warm west. So again, just to cut the country in half and total opposites. Map inset left is temps versus last year. So again, East Coast is certainly way below normal and cold in the last year. Overall nationally, though, still 1.3 warmer than last year, but that still makes it the 6th coldest in 30 years. So it was epically cold, obviously, last year, below average this year. Driest in 3 years, third driest in 30 years, below average national precipitation, and snowfall less than last year, above average in the northeast, below average nationally. We'll have to watch all that snow. You see the little map inset left, and I hesitate to show these model outputs here, but certainly shows the potential for some interior New England heavy snows in the Appalachians of West Virginia. Euro's a little more bullish on another coastal storm around the 12th, and we'll have to watch that one because that one could have implications for the Virginia area and southern New Jersey, even parts of the Northeast. So we'll have to watch that. Ironically, this time last year, the 15th, I think we had our big mid-November snowstorm around the 15th. Brought about 8 inches here at here in the Lehigh Valley of outside WT360 Studios. So again, potential for another snowstorm. So again, kind of a cold trend here. Looks like some moderation toward the end of this period, but we'll see about that. Should be a warmer middle to latter half of November. Mrs. Kirk and little Angelina Kirk, haven't shown them here recently, so I thought we'd show a quick photo of them. All decked out in their white outfits here this past Sunday. And then the little one, thank goodness they told us they were going to be painting in school, so she wasn't wearing white, but did her finger painting. It was all about fire, and obviously the fires in California, they had a fireman come into school, so she had a great time with that. So with that, folks, we hope you have a great week, and we will be back here this time next week.